Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. We head towards the ending of another week in markets, another day where we get to hear about the trade war with China. It's been a while since we've had to talk about that, but it seems like it is rearing its head again. We'll talk about what it means for markets, both short and long term, on the show, as well as some of our favorite coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. So if you guys have anything on your mind that you'd like us to look at, go ahead and drop that in the chat. Let's get that out of the way. But welcome, guys. I'm Snorlax. You also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Prometheus and, of course, Tucker. Welcome to you guys. We're going to have a great show for you all today. Send you into your weekend, hopefully on the right note. Talk about all things markets, right? Equities, crypto, shit coins, Forex, maybe, who knows? I mean, this is the show where we kind of talk about everything. And yesterday's show was pretty fun. I thought we had some really great characters on. So shout out to everybody once again who came on the stream yesterday. That is something that I think we're going to be doing more of in the future. But before we can get too deep into market commentary, kind of breaking down this morning's move, as well as, like I said, prospecting where we're going from here, what Q4 looks like, I'm going to need you guys to hit that like button for us. It's Friday, so you can abuse that like button, right? Smash it. Destroy the like button. You have the excuse to hit the like button harder today than maybe any other day because it's almost the weekend, right? But all right, let's get serious. Let's talk about markets. Obviously, we are seeing a little bit of a sell-off here at the start of the day. I mean, it's been kind of this persistent theme into New York Open. I'm sure you guys have kind of noticed it over the last few days where they squeezed Bitcoin. And really just like that entire structure on Bitcoin, I feel like is kind of indicative of this. They squeeze Bitcoin and then they just, whoever has the heavy hand on the market, it's probably Binance, let's be honest, is slamming these squeezes before we can get any sort of market structure break, before we can get this lower time frame momentum ignited. And so Bitcoin's just kind of been giving us more of the same for, I would say, really since early October, right? And we gave that awesome move to start the quarter. We're pulling back a little bit. It looks right now, looking at the chart, like we could be headed towards that liquidity at 118K. Maybe we get there today. Who knows? But that's what Bitcoin has been doing. Obviously, altcoins have been lagging Bitcoin. ETH Bitcoin, as we've kind of been talking about over the last few days, might not look ready to trend right now, but maybe a few weeks or a few months down the line. And that speaks for the rest of the altcoin market. Are we having trouble? Is the connection sketchy? I can't even tell, but we just got a notification from StreamYard. Hopefully everything's good. Regardless, we have also been saying this is a BNB market. So who's driving the market? Binance, not just in terms of their own coin, as far as on-chain opportunities, but also probably with the way that Bitcoin is trading as well. So CZ is running this market still. If anything, this pump on BNB made that even more certain. I don't know if you guys saw, but they reported CZ doubled his net worth over the last week, which is pretty incredible, man, which is really pretty incredible. Especially because I think a lot of his net worth we don't even actually know about. We've talked about that concept before on this show about how CZ probably has money in nooks and crannies of crypto that we aren't even aware of, that maybe he's not even aware of. But I don't want to yap for too long, guys. Let's talk about the markets. I just kind of wanted to talk about majors in crypto. Obviously, we have the tariffs causing some sell-off in equities today. I'm kind of surprised how quickly we went down the way that we did in that market, but definitely gives us plenty of things to talk about on today's stream. How are we doing? Before you answer the question about where we think the market is going, I'd really like to know what your weekend plans are, guys. Anything fun?
Anything fun? I got a wedding to go to here. I'm gonna have to leave the stream in like 10 minutes actually, but that's my weekend plan. Yeah, I got a buddy's wedding, and then we'll see. I don't really have anything the rest of the weekend. Maybe go to the range. We'll see. Try not to look at the charts.
Tea time Saturday, brother.
Oh, tea time Saturday?
Tea time Saturday.
Nice. Yeah, let's do it, honestly. I don't think I have anything.
Yeah, I just got some golf. Got some plans with some friends. That's about it. Watch football on Sunday. I mean, we're in football season now, so Sundays are pretty locked down at this point. Got to be tuned into Red Zone.
Absolutely have to.
Do you pay for Red Zone now that it has commercials, Liam?
I have YouTube TV,
Yeah, but you still.
but I still get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Big Lou?
What's up,
Hello.
Louis?
Yeah, bro, you have to pay for Red Zone still, man. Like, there's like 2 commercials.
I haven't noticed the commercials.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's how they're starting, and then
No,
eventually,
it's going to
I
start
know.
like this, and then over time, it's going to get progressively worse.
Dude, the amount of flack that Scott took was egregious.
Well, you would think that if they're going to be making all this money off commercials, they could lower the price, right?
Yeah.
But no, greedy bastards.
Yeah, you have to still pay for it, though. There's no other option. Like, what are you going to do? Like, skip around?
what about you, Louis? You got any weekend plans?
I did, but I woke up feeling real crappy this morning, so probably a whole lot of nothing. Yeah.
Probably the same for me, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I've had a lot of crazy weekends, so my body, I think, is telling me you got to chill. So I'm gonna chill.
Well, I would like to say I'm going to have a great time watching football, but I probably won't be enjoying watching it when my teams play.
It can't be worse. It can't be worse than the Jets, brother.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I can at least take some solace in the fact that fantasy for once is going well for me. But let's not stray too far away from markets. Let's talk about this move that we're seeing across the board. I can't say I was expecting tariff news going into today. Seems like the market wasn't either. Looking at the Nasdaq down about 1.75%. ETH puked pretty hard. But we are now trading into this fair value gap that ETH formed that we talked. I mean, I want to say we talked about its importance on yesterday's show. How we really should be seeing a reaction from here.
Hold on one second. I don't think we're streaming on Pump for some reason.
No, we're not. I don't. That's kind of. I don't even know how Max turns it on, honestly. So
Worst comes to worst, just not there today.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've been feeling a little. I've been feeling a bit of a sell-off coming in the equity markets. Just gut feel type thing. That's why I've been taking a lot of profits on my stock positions over the last couple of days. So glad I did that. So what happened? What kind of news did we get?
We're gonna tariff the shit out of China again. That's the headline.
I mean, like clockwork, bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
Crypto's about to break out. More tariffs.
Yeah, like clockwork. I'm surprised the markets at this point react to the tariff news anymore. Like, if you had looked towards the tail end, especially towards the beginning of August, kind of September timeframe, if you were to have heard any tariff-based news at that time, I mean, the markets would have completely shrugged it off. So, a little bit of a latency period, a few months of not talking about it. And then, back at it, back on the ringer. I don't know if he's using it as a tactic to kind of keep the markets intact or not. I mean, or not intact, but like suppress the markets in a way. Yeah, I mean, I thought at this point we would have been kind of over the whole tariff shenanigans. And actually, this kind of leads me to believe this is actually probably closer to a bottom than not. News-based capitulation. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. As long as we don't do something crazy.
It seems as if they have to manufacture pullbacks in the stock market at this point, or else they're never going to come. It feels as if they have to do these types of things. They have to let do things to let the VIX has been looking like it's been wanting to make a move for a while now. You know what I mean? I feel like they have to manufacture these VIX spikes, these sell-offs, or else, the markets are just going to keep going up and up and up. I felt like that for a while. And that, seeing this today makes a lot of sense. So, we'll see. Once again, crypto kind of front running this equity sell-off. You know what I mean? It's like clockwork. Crypto starts pulling back, equity seem not bothered and strong, and then a couple days later you get the equity follow through. But every time you do see that, crypto has been seeming to find a bottom earlier because it's been front running the move, it seems like. So I would agree. I would think that this is probably we're getting close to a local bottom here on crypto, which would be good for sure.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the VIX, this is actually what I was wanting to see. Finally, some form of blowout and volatility.
Yeah.
Louis, you'd mentioned it was definitely in its local structure uptrending here, and kind of compressing with below this supply region. And now that we're seeing kind of this unwind, just looking at RSI on the daily, looking at the region that we came up into, the regime is still very much a buy the dip regime. High time frame, you look at volatility, impressive in nature. I look at us being in kind of a growth, strong growth economy, with GDP and everything. This is actually really, really good for equities. It's really good for crypto once we find some form of top here on volatility. It then allows for a lot of breathing room for altcoins and just equities in general. So good that we finally got the unwind. It looks like it was brewing for quite some time. Like you said, generally some form of social engineering is going on, typical, but good for broader risk on assets that now we can finally have some form of incentivization for long positioning now.
Yeah.
I do think I feel like we've talked about this. It's been a few months because it hasn't really been in the news in the same way. But I want to say we talked about how tariffs and really just kind of the rhetoric is being used to stair step equities higher, right? It's back in April, we put all the risk possible into sentiment in the market, and it was reflected on the VIX. As a result, you basically just got the market chugging higher because there was way too much fear in the market for quite a while. But sorry, my alert threw me off, and it was for the most random shitcoin ticker too. World Liberty Fi. I don't even know why I was charting that, but we put all the risk into the market. It created the uptrend that we saw over the last, obviously 6 months. But you also have to take into account that they don't want inflation to blow out either. And kind of the way that would happen is if the market were to melt up from here. I do think eventually they're going to lose their ability to prevent that. That is kind of inevitable in my opinion, but it makes sense that they're going to use rhetoric to more or less stair step equities higher until an eventual blow off when they can no longer control it, right? Because when equities go higher, you have that wealth effect. And as they've repeatedly said, right, their actions haven't always confirmed it, but Main Street, right, they want to have Main Street play a big role in this administration just as much as Wall Street. But Main Street gets priced out of assets and gets hit the worst by inflation, and that wealth gap just grows when the market increases, at least the current equity market. So I'm kind of rambling at this point, but you guys understand what I'm saying. I think that they're using their rhetoric to stair step the market more or less. Oh my.
What? Oh. There you go.
How do we have two Louis?
Play myself.
Louis used double team. No, that was pretty funny. Did you switch on a VPN, Louis?
Yes.
For
dumping, I gotta check the hyperliquid. Tommy already knows.
Been there, brother.
Am I liquidated? Am I not? I don't know. No. Okay. But yeah, had to switch on the VPN real quick.
They are.
I actually think this is some form of higher time frame bottom forming here, probably.
You know, it's kind of funny because I was just about to tweet earlier this morning about how low the realized volatility is on some of these altcoins. Like I was looking at Pepe, and the vol on it is just shrunk, which, you know, just means that we have a huge move coming, or that we're in the process of doing that right now. But like ETH is giving you these multiple percentage moves back and forth every day, and Pepe's relatively staying muted. So I think that you're at the point where the only thing that's actually going to move some of these altcoins is a trend, a real trend on majors, no more of these fake moves.
Yeah, I mean, you'd mentioned, Tommy, when we were, I think it was, correct me if I'm not wrong, but maybe back in July at some point, but you'd said when altcoins are outperforming majors, when majors are having a pullback, that typically that is indicative of some form of, you know, higher time frame bottom. You know, especially just kind of looking at the watch list. I mean, ETH down 6%, right?
Down 6%. Oh my God.
ETH down 6%. I mean, Hyperliquid was only down 3.5%. You know, XRP down 2 and change. Solana's, you know, beating it. BNB obviously beating it a little bit, but I mean, XRP and, you know, Doge, just kind of list goes on and on and on across the board. You know, this to me is more so indicative of like, this is a leverage flush. Just looking at structure here, you know, it makes sense that this is probably some form of higher time frame bottom.
Well, let's hope so.
Needs to be.
It does.
Yeah, it literally needs to be, or else we're cooked.
I mean, wow.
That's a big drop.
I still think the level that is just the hard line invalidation for crypto is that impulsive candle Bitcoin put in on the first day of October, from like 115K up to 118. If you lose that, then, you know, all bets are off.
Yeah.
But it is a fair value gap, right? So you would kind of be expecting Bitcoin to bounce out of it. Because we've seen, I was kind of looking back at this the last 2 or 3 days or so. You know, we've seen early on in Q4 that we get these deeper kind of flushes after an impulsive candle. And those previous 2 times, right, October of 2023, I think it was probably early November of last year, we did get a bounce out of those FVGs. The chart looked very scary. We did bounce. So for me, you know, is behavior going to stay the same? You have a very clean invalidation as a result.
Yeah, and you got to kind of start talking about like the integrity of the move. If you do back, you know, if you do come all the way back down, right? You got to start kind of questioning the validity of the move. You know, then it's not looking so good with the sweep of the all-time highs. If that happens, you know, I was not expecting us to flush out the way we did. You know, if anything, I was kind of expecting for, you know, if this was going to be some form of higher time frame swing fail, for Bitcoin to kind of remain near these highs and us unable to break through the supply region is kind of what I was targeting. Truthfully, to look for, you know, then if I was going to look for shorts, I was not expecting to, you know, reverse a good chunk of this move thus far immediately off these highs. So it's kind of what I'm looking at. And like Tommy said, like if you come back down, like 117 is kind of my line in the sand. You guys really got to hold that. It'd be a structural retest at that point. You know, I mean, Tommy did mention there's the FEG. You have some, you know, high time frame demand region below that. But I mean, if you lose that level, this is not holding. Honestly, like I'd be very surprised if you come back down here, lose this level, and then you like get a third tap back down within this demand region. You know. But like I said, I think the high time frame regime is a bullish one, at least into sometime the end of November, beginning of December is what I'm looking at on the higher time frame. And I like the move out of stablecoin dominance. Like this was essentially all air within here. You know, I mean, you had gap up into gap down, and you just left this massive inefficiency region within here. You know, what better than to backfill some move and some liquidity on a news driven catalyst, you know? I mean what better?
There goes the VIX.
What are we at? Yeah,
20.
21, 30%.
Yeah, I've been feeling this move in my loins. I've been feeling it. They kept making us think that it wasn't going to happen. You know, every time it started to push, it's been getting stuffed. I'm very happy with my take profits on stocks.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's the only thing that's been making me money over the last couple months.
Dude, stocks have been a beauty to trade, man.
Yeah.
Stocks have been like a retail heaven.
Yes.
Over the last few months, man.
I mean, you want to talk about freaking up only.
Wrong asset class.
Yeah, Bitcoin miner ETF.
Oh my god!
Why are we trading altcoins?
That's why I sold all my minor call options yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah, the
trade's getting a little overheated for sure. I don't think it's done.
No, it's not. You're getting the repricing and it'll continue, but like you said, local pullback here definitely makes sense. I mean, we grabbed CLSK at like the freaking lows. I was harping on this a lot at the lows. And really fantastic moves so far. I mean, look at this stock. You want to talk about?
Damn.
I was about to mention iron.
This is insane.
That's insane. What's iron?
I think it's like an AI Bitcoin miner.
Yeah, they're fully vertically integrated, so they control like.
Oh, they're vertically integrated, right?
Yeah, exactly. They control the entire stack. They have like a cloud-based service. I mean, they're just really good infrastructure. So insane play though. Man, and I called this out of the Discord down here at these lows, and I was like, I think there's like a descending trend line here. Let me pull it up on the weekly. Yeah, I was and I was like looking at these lows. I was like, this is probably a good spot to bid iron, and just did not bid it.
Yeah, that's how it works, right?
Yeah,
that is exactly how it works. The things I bid don't go up.
That's an insane
I want to go up a lot.
That's just an insane chart. Looks like Zcash.
Dude, Zcash is a monster.
And it's so funny because I was putting the Doge fractal on so many different like old old coins, and the one that ended up playing out on was Zcash.
I would have never guessed this, bro.
There's like one or two chartists that I saw talking about it before the move, which
same.
And I was like, okay, and I was like, okay, I'll keep an eye on it, right? And then bang, and then I went to my chart, and I guess one of the guys in the Discord had me charting it. I literally drew the squiggle, like playing out like this, and I was like, what? I literally drew it out, like I knew it was probably gonna happen this way, but yeah, pretty nuts.
Should we pull out some patterns? I have no idea how to draw these, by the way.
One thing does remain consistently true, though. We pumped Litecoin, and the market nuked.
Oh, did Litecoin pump? Little baby pump.
Little baby pump. I don't even know what I had on there.
I mean, it looks like XRP, but before it went vertical. But I also, it's Litecoin.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it looks
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look good. It looks like it's gearing up for a nice little meat stick, huh?
Yeah, just slowly grinding up into the supply.
Just the way you said that.
Well, stick, huh?
Stick, huh?
Well, at least I'm holding Zora on a day like today.
Bro,
Yeah, man. How did that get listed on Robinhood?
Study the Coinbase cabal,
Yeah, that's true.
Coinbase mafia.
this is insane, bro. And I like just one of those two. Like I was like, oh, this is probably a good spot to bid. Just like looking at majors, I'm like, I don't know if I want to buy any more altcoins here.
You want to talk about crime of the day, Tommy?
We're talking about Zora.
Yeah, you see that drop right before
Yes.
it kind of like reclaimed? Do you know what that was?
Was that you?
No. I wish I could do that. No, that was that. So they had token unlocks scheduled for October 30th or like 27th, 28th. They unlocked the tokens early, a month early.
What?
Yeah. Nuked it. I told everyone, all right, relax. Everyone calm down. I actually added on that drop. And I was like, listen, settle down. Let the dust settle. I was like, in my opinion, this could be a strategic move where they're just getting the sell pressure out of the way, knowing that October was going to be a bullish month. Obviously, in hindsight, it was probably because they knew they were going to be launching on Robinhood. So, yeah, they unlocked their tokens a month earlier than scheduled, nuked it, and now they're sending it.
Yeah, that's crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crime.
I sniffed it out. I was like, this feels like more of a strategic move, even though I didn't like the way they did it. So I'm glad I stuck in there and then added on that drop. But yeah, that's crime for sure.
That is crime, man. Is that the first base coin to be listed on Robinhood? I think it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I don't know what the market cap is, but I know it was like around 300 at the lows. But yeah, I'm probably not going to take profit on this until we're pushing $1 billion.
It's at 400 and it's at 478 right now.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to go to $1 billion, I think, or at least all-time highs, and then maybe skim some. But this has been a nice little cushion for the last day or two.
You know what this looks like. Let me put it side by side.
XRP?
It looks like we're somewhere within here.
Yeah, could be. I see
Somewhere here.
Are you calling it base XRP?
I mean, shit. No, I like the kind of utility case that Zora has. I mean, Jesse Pollock is hard chilling it right now. I saw this at 20 mil market cap and completely faded it.
Me too.
I was like, Instagram that launches your coins, please.
They're like, coin it. And I was like, fuck that shit. And then boom.
Yeah.
What kind of
all right, I'm not making the same mistake twice. So I let it bleed down 60% off the highs, and then I bid. So I'm glad I did. But
It's like new gen, degen. You guys remember that token?
no,
I do not. Oh wait, Degen?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Degen.
I remember Degen. Yeah, Degen.
I feel like Zora is now taking up the mantle for what degen was.
Yeah.
Degen pumped really hard.
Yeah.
I remember that. I think I was actually in your stomping grounds when that was going on, Louis.
Yeah, I remember that. They pumped it. Another crime. They pumped it like 200% on like a 15-minute candle, and I was long. And obviously, I wasn't able to take profit on it. And by the time I got back to my computer, the pump was already fully retraced. I was like, great.
Louis said another crime.
Right.
Crime gives and it takes.
Yes. Look at
I think
this.
degen did go to I don't know if it went to $1 billion. I think it went to like 500 mil.
Close.
Yeah,
it was
It
close.
didn't go to $1 billion. I think it went to
I
like
don't think there's-
300 mil.
I don't think there's any base token that's gotten to $1 billion yet. I think
I
Zora's
remember Tucker and Wabi were shitcoining on like the
Whoa.
DGen
Oh,
chain.
Well, Brett went to a bill.
oh, it did. I
Yeah.
thought it was like. Oh,
Brett went to. There's a few.
Didn't do a few bill.
Yeah, it did. Virtuals went to a bill. Oh God, what else went up there?
Probably something AI
He
related.
went over a bill FDV. Got up to like 650 mil market cap. Avantis was over a bill FDV.
Toshi ever get to a bill? Probably not.
No, Toshi's sitting at like 400 and something mil market cap right now. I'm pretty sure.
Toshi looks pretty good though. Toshi's been just trugging along.
Now, there are so many charts that kind of are giving off that like slow grind vibe, but I really hope they don't break down type of beast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the slow grind that should lead to meat stick, but then just rejects and sweeps all the lows. You know,
It's like Dogecoin, BMNR, they all kind of have that same structure of price action now.
Yeah, BMNR is one I started building a position because I'm just like, I know this could come back down and sweep these lows, but like, it's like I think ETH is probably close to a breakout, especially if we get this kind of shakeout out of the way here.
I actually really like this shakeout. Honestly, like I was like waiting for some form of shakeout or like low to form. This is what I like to see. Like
capitulation.
Yeah.
Just rip the Band-Aid off. I'll take this over slow, methodical lead over multi-week period any day.
No, absolutely.
Kind of looking like a bull flag on ETH.
At least we have some volatility.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, starting to form a nice little bull flag here.
Yeah. Along those lines.
Higher low is great. I don't think we need to return to the lows. I think a nice little higher low here, and then up. Kind of what Bitcoin did, Yeah. That higher low, bang, and then straight up.
Right here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Similar structure too. Bitcoin was kind of looking like a bull flag there. So, yeah, higher low, sends it, stop on a dime.
We probably bounce back to like 4,200 pretty soon.
Yeah.
Next week will be interesting though.
Yeah, we have CPI next week.
Oh, we do.
Do we have FOMC this week? I mean, this month?
Yes, it is. It's later in the month. I'm pretty sure. I think it's like the 28th, maybe.
Do we have FOMC with the government shutdown?
No, we wouldn't.
Nice.
We would not.
Any idea when we're going to be no longer shut down? Or is that just like time frame TBD?
TBD.
Love it. Gotta love it.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. CPI, PPI, and I'm assuming NFP next week. Jesus.
Non-pay farms. Yeah, big week next week. There's a little bit of liquidity, and I was touching on this with the Discord. And something that I really like to do is get my signal out of whatever's the market leader. So like, earlier with Solana bottoming out here, we're grabbing the liquidity at 192, then expecting some form of bounce and recovery from the markets. When it topped at 250, the market rolling over. And now the leader being Binance, something that I was really looking for, and I texted Tommy about it, was the fact that I'd like to see these late longs get swept out of the market, especially the ones that piled into BNB. And so if I'm using BNB as like my barometer for the rest of the market, since it's the market leader, sweeping this liquidity is kind of what I'm expecting at this point. I'd be pretty surprised, honestly, if they let it come down to 1100, just based off the strength of the trend here locally. Now, do want to be mindful. There's potential for it, but if I'm looking at BNB as a market leader, sweeping its liquidity, flushing out those late longs, I would expect for some form of bottom to probably be forming within here. Just looking at it here locally, and yes, CZ's net worth is up here.
CZ enriched himself on your behalf once again, guys.
Dude, that Binance, like that was a clearly orchestrated sell-off. You don't get like an entire ecosystem of tokens down 80 to 90% all in the same day.
Dude, that actually was pretty wild. Like how
many think about how many people actually have to be involved in that. Like that's like a big thing, like they keep it buttoned up. They, we need some of that over here.
Yeah,
I think Coinbase was like, all right, watch this. It's pump Zora.
No, I mean CZ's got to pay himself for pumping the entire ecosystem, and pumping Bitcoin. He's got to pay him. And look at these stacked highs on the 4-hour on Binance. Like this is crazy talk. I saw this and I was like, this does not look good.
Yeah, I was looking at that yesterday.
Yeah.
But when every time they kind of push it back up towards those highs, they make you think, oh, maybe it's a slow grind up or back up, and it was just they never broke the highs.
No, I remember very, very early on in my trading career, when I was scalping options back in the day, on the 5-minute on S&P, I saw stacked highs just like this, and I tried longing into it and got blown out, and it like imprinted itself in my brain that like you see structure like this is, seller, buyer exhaustion and sellers are in control.
CZ is in control. For me, I was watching the derivatives on that blow off move it had, and the funding just went insanely negative towards the highs on a big OI increase. So I know it wasn't just like longs closing out and just a spot bid. It was people, I say that with an asterisk, you guys know who it is, started shorting a bunch of BNB coins up at the local highs, man. I mean, I think we talked about this on Monday. I thought that was kind of a red flag.
Yeah, most certainly.
I feel like trading majors has been for the last 2 years, and I'm guilty of probably both sides of this. It's like people who buy deep value, they caught the great entry and they're going to print on the way up. But the people who end up like securing those profits are the ones who stick to kind of their trade plan of that measured move higher. Whereas the people who end up that have been kind of like round tripping, that have been maybe even buying the top on some of these majors, they are waiting for like the parabolic stretch rather than Bitcoin, ETH, BNB, and Sol was an exception in early 2023 into 2024. Yeah. But now it's kind of trading in the same way. But when we look for that like next parabolic leg, that's when people have been getting trapped. And I saw somebody earlier this week. They're like, yeah, I bought the bottom on BNB and I'm selling here. And in my head, I'm like, you know what? If our majors are going to start trading like large cap stocks, it's probably going to pull back here, right? And people are going to be looking for the next extension on BNB. But, I'll be honest. I was shocked at how you guys have already talked about it. Like how quickly the tide came in on chain for BSC was just kind of like.
It came in quick and it left.
I'm sure most people playing about that.
Yeah. Well, it's been like that. It's like everyone's chasing the hot ball of money. Like the amount of people that sold conviction bags to go chase first of all these perp DEX chains, they're all wrecked, right? Then you got a glimmer of hope in BNB on chain. Go chase that. Now they're wrecked again. Like it's just everyone's just, and that's why I never chase. Like it sucks watching like not doing stuff sometimes and watching some of these things play out. And for me, like if it's either I'm early or I'm not, it is what it is. But even in bullish conditions, I think they're more dangerous than bearish ones, because when you chase these hot balls of money, you get wrecked. Like, it is so easy to lose money in bullish conditions, and we've seen that, right, with the perp dexes, now with BNB chain. It's just like, when everyone's talking about it, it's already too late, and you're better off just letting it play out, and then come back and pick up the pieces when everyone gets wrecked. That's pretty much what you have to do. And then, but even if you are holding your conviction bags, it's not like that's much better, right? I mean, those are still slow bleeding, I guess, to Bitcoin, but at least you're not losing, 50, 60% of your portfolio overnight. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet there's a lot of people that selling conviction bags they've been holding for the last 2 years to play in those arenas, and probably losing a nice chunk of money over the last month or so.
Well, I do feel like you can kind of see, I don't know if you guys would agree with this, but I feel like I've been seeing more and more desperation from the trenches over the last few weeks. Aster, I think, was the last straw for a lot of people. Like, I can't miss another thing. And either they shoved Aster, maybe they shoved XPL on perps. They're just getting washed out. BNB or BSC chain, I'm sure, was people probably overcommitted once again, just based on how hard a lot of these other on-chain charts got hit in the meantime. You have to imagine that there was some pretty serious capital rotation over there.
100%.
Yeah.
And I got this great meme. I wish I could show you guys it. It's actually a video. It's fantastic.
It's crazy what this asset class has come to, man.
What happened to the game I love?
Seriously, it's fucking. It's sometimes like, it's kind of like what it's sad. It sucks. This used to be like a fun place, and now it's just pure extraction at the highest level. It's like and I was thinking about this the other day. Like 2018, 2019, 2020, that whole bull run. It was kind of like camaraderie. Like, everyone like, buy the dip, everyone hold, like, just we'll get through this together, and kind of mentality. This time around, it's like everyone piles in, and then it's like everyone wants to be the first to get out. You know what I mean? To be like, it's like everyone's going into buying these things with the mentality of, I'm going to be the first one to take profit. I'm not going to be exit liquidity. And then it just like leads to nothing sustaining. You know what I mean? It's just like everyone is just so quick to take money off the table, which I don't blame them, right? Because that mentality has come from these projects just not sustaining long-term bids. And now it's just like everyone pile in and pile out as quick as possible. Don't be exit liquidity and try to be the first one out the door. And this is kind of what it's come to. It sucks. It's like you can't believe anything anymore. Believing in anything.
I had a post about this earlier this week, Louis, just kind of talking about how, we're so used to the on-chain market being, you position into these bags because liquidity will find it eventually. And lately it's just been vampire attacks and, it's just like, your coin's at 20 million. Well, I'm not in it from as low as you, so I'm just going to buy something else. And it's just on repeat, man. There are too many coins. I think that's probably the crux of it at the end of the day. But I'm not going to be like super pessimistic as a whole for on-chain. I just think, part of it is a part of cycles. And I've been saying pretty consistently, I think we have played out multiple cycles within a much larger one. And I think that's just going to continue to happen. And part of that much larger cycle, liquidity will eventually find its way into on-chain markets. I completely believe that. And I'm willing to be patient with the on-chain bags that I have as a result. But, I think it's definitely requiring a lot more discretion as far as what you allocate to.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. I agree with that for sure.
I think there's just a lack of belief in the space with like from a conviction standpoint, and people are just purely gambling. Like, and that's when it turns into the inability to really hold through volatility. The kind of thought process that you're talking about, Louis, where, it's like, oh, I got in, you got in before me. Well, I'm not going to get into this. So that's kind of why it's that. And I think eventually, the space will bleed back towards one of belief and conviction. And because there's a lot of solid projects out there that are doing a lot of actually really fascinating things. And it's just the money's right now is like chasing that like pipe dream that you're going to make, like turn like $1,000 into like 10 mil in like 4 hours. And it's just where the state of it is. But, I'm still very optimistic for this asset class as a whole moving forward, over the next decade. And I think it's actually going to integrate really well into, with the newer generation, kind of how the financial rails are being set in place, and why, and crypto is really going to let everybody know why it's here. It's gonna, it's like the .com. A lot of people in the .com bubble had no idea what any of those companies were doing. They had no idea what the future of what, internet could hold, from e-commerce, marketing, advertising, from a social aspect. People in .com had no foresight with that, right? And they're speculating on the IPOs, and it's very similar to crypto, where a lot of the people don't understand and have the foresight to really see how the integration plays out and how it'll play out in a big way.
No, I think you're right. It's becoming, and I don't want to say this like with too much. So basically, I feel like it's becoming more and more important to have a stack of majors. Really, ideally, you're allocating at capitulation bottoms when you buy them, but I just think in general, a lot of DCR said it years ago, you're not going to, over enough time, most people are not going to outperform Bitcoin and ETH while trading. So having a stack of that, making sure you don't go to zero by trading shitcoins or perps is really important. And I think part of that is just sticking some of your capital at opportune times, right? That's the other key part. Into majors, or really just assets that you think will consistently accrue value against Bitcoin, against the US dollar, right? Like Louis just said, like stocks, these large cap tech stocks.
Yeah, it's 100% been a market where like you got to just survive. You know what I mean? But you survive while also continuing to fish for opportunities, because there's opportunities. Like there's like every other week there's a new meta, there's a new token popping off, and if you're not fishing for those opportunities, you're not going to find winners. But at the same time, it can't be with your entire portfolio. You got to have high cap crypto, Bitcoin, ETH. Like even for me, like right now, like first half of the cycle, I held a lot of Bitcoin, right? But I sold that on the way up. Holding something like an XRP as a large chunk of my portfolio over the last 2 years has been a huge benefactor, keeping me in the game, right? And just kind of stashing that away. Although recently, I saw someone comment, and I saw Prometheus had it up. XRP kind of looks like shit here. It looks like it wants to break down. But and then also playing in stocks, like playing in the stock market the last 6 months has also, provided a place where you could make money or kind of lower the risk, lower the volatility in your total portfolio, and find winners there. But yeah, it's definitely not a market where you can just full port and stay in these risky assets without having some sort of portfolio management strategy to kind of stay in the game and survive.
Can we talk about how limp meat the 10-year looks right now?
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised it's selling off like this today on tariff news.
I know. Like this is limp meat.
Isn't that good? Don't we want to see that breaking down?
Can I draw this out on YouTube or no?
Probably.
All
I
right.
think it's gonna bounce. I think it's gonna bounce here pretty soon. I'm not gonna lie, but
I think
we want to see it breaking down. No,
we do, but I think it's gonna bounce.
But it's also in how it breaks down. You do not want to see like big cratering moves to the downside. Like you want it to be kind of more methodical stair-step price action. If you see big moves to the downside, it's probably due to a repricing of risk, and not only that, from the yield side, that there's going to be imminent significant rate cuts due to some form of collapse within the economy. So you just got to be careful with how you break down, but you do want it to break down.
But yeah, that's definitely true. But yeah, I mean, I am assuming it's selling off. And correct me if I'm wrong here. Probably because of recession fears, because of more tariffs. It is limp. I really think it's gonna rally a little bit from here.
Yeah.
Unless everything just rips back to the upside after this flush. Which,
yeah, not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna add some of my ETH leaps back on here.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind taking some leverage longs here. I just don't know if I want to deal with the stress of it at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the nice part about the call options and leaps is you don't have to worry about liquidation. There's a lot more fluidity with the position.
Oh, I've been loving the options. I've been having a great old time with that in the stock market for sure. Oh.
Options maxi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need. Well, isn't there like Bitcoin and ETH options now?
Yeah, the only issue with the like you can trade ETH and IBIT. That's probably the most liquid ways to do it, but they have tighter spreads, which is nice, right? But if you're looking for some like longer tail stuff, as I tend to do in both directions, they're more expensive than native crypto options. It's kind of like the price you pay for the tighter spread.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm taking out if I want options on like ETH or Bitcoin, I'll just do it on the ETFs. Trade's very similar. I mean, it's literally 1-to-1.
Kind of feel like we're going to bounce into close.
I think so.
I think so too.
I'm surprised we sold off on tariff news, to be honest. I thought the market was kind of over that at this point.
I think that's just the excuse for the market moving down. I don't think it's the other way around,
Yeah,
I do too.
I agree.
Yeah.
Send ETH back to like 42.50.
Kind of want to bid some BMNR here. I've been kind of building a position in this area. This is like a little lower.
As long as the low at like 48 remains intact, I think this looks really, really, really good. I mean, you're kind of accepting back within the wedge, but I'm not really a big wedge trader, so what am I talking about?
I like Circle here too. I'm glad I saw Circle moving up yesterday. I wanted to buy it. I've been being patient with it. No, it just nuked. So, but I feel like it's still could come lower. I don't know. I'm very torn.
I got some really nice entries on Circle down here in this demand region.
I have a friend who mentioned earlier this week, he's like, whenever you see big call buyers come in for Circle, the market just takes a dump right after. And he's like, I see call buyers on Circle. I think this is on like Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, it looked really good. It looked promising yesterday, and I almost got baited. And I was like,
Debated.
No. Yeah, I'm gonna wait.
Have you guys been tracking that Hyperliquid whale at all?
No. What's going on?
He's been simultaneously shorting 9 figs and selling billions of spot Bitcoin.
Oh my.
Cheat code.
I know. He's up $12 million on his short right now from a 21K or a 121K entry.
Wow. It's a good short.
I thought they only did that with micro caps, but I guess if you have enough Bitcoin Bitcoin, you can do it in Bitcoin too.
Bitcoin was a micro cap to them back in the day, man.
Yeah.
Why couldn't that be me?
The hidden whales, the oracles.
The ancient whales.
Oh my god, dude! I was watching. Me and my wife, we watch Below Deck sometimes. You know the show Below Deck. It's like the yachting show, and it's a brand new season. And the first charter guest, it's Carl the Moon and Da Vinci.
No way!
Oh,
No way!
I swear, I watched it last night. I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" Oh my god! Yeah.
No way, dude. That's so funny.
And what was the way they described Carl the Moon? A web startup entrepreneur.
Oh my god. Was he a normal guy?
He was all right. Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah.
He was all right.
He was pretty cringe. All the Bitcoin stuff. He's like a Bitcoin chain, Bitcoin watch. You know, they had a Bitcoin themed party.
No, stop. God.
Yeah.
Are we early, boys?
Our exit liquidity for Carl the Moon and Da Vinci.
Oh, is he there too?
Yeah, both of them. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Apparently they're close friends. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just sitting there watching and shaking my head as they're eating caviar.
What is that, Prometheus? Is that total?
Without stable coins.
Oh,
This is not a good look. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah, that looks pretty mid.
needs a higher low.
Yeah, you need a higher low, like some maybe come back down into here, but I mean, looking at RSI, I'm like, you, God.
We suck again.
Oh no, we suck again.
You know what's crazy is that altcoins as a whole are valued less right now than they were back in November of 21.
Yeah. Yep.
What in the God's name is wrong with this industry?
Yep.
Extraction.
Dude, that is crazy.
But you know, every time we have too much extraction, I am a believer that it's kind of like the wildfire clearing a forest or like creating the ability to grow back again. It just takes time.
Mm-hmm.
Tempted to buy some stock here.
You guys got any charts you guys want me to pull up, or chat? You guys got any?
We haven't talked about Sol or Hype. Otherwise, we can look at some shitcoin tickers. I'm sure pulling up some Binance coins would be pretty funny.
What are some Binance names?
Broccoli, the coin I just round tripped. You can talk about that one. Thanks for that, CZ.
Oh man.
Jeez, Burj Khalifa. Oh my word.
Nice little round trip. What are some other? What does Aster look like? Now that I'm thinking about it,
It's sketchy.
Oof.
I did not take this long, by the way. This is
Right.
no, I did not. I promise. Somebody in the call is
Right.
you know what that chart looks like?
somebody in the what?
Fart coin.
Oh god.
I would say,
Lead lower. It looks like McDonald's, which is why I'm saying it looks like fart coin. You guys want to know something funny? I mean, it's kind of a stereotype that like McDonald's in other countries is so much better than the States. When I was in Italy, we ended up getting McDonald's like 3 times. Not as our preferred meal, right? Let me preface it by saying that. But like, I mean, you eat pasta, you eat this delicious food. Sometimes you might be a little hungry after dinner. And yes, we ended up getting McDonald's like 3 times.
Oh,
Burgers
stop.
were amazing.
Stop.
What? I'm
That
serious. Have
McDonald's
you
in
ever experienced
Italy?
a Tasty? Have you experienced a McCrunchy?
What the-
You don't even know what those are.
A McCrunchy.
But we should have them on the American McDonald's menu.
McBasty?
McTasty.
McTasty.
Also had the double bacon McCrisp.
What in the God's name?
They all sound delicious.
They were.
Good. Is it a
They
chicken?
were.
Jet 2 holiday.
Jet 2 holiday?
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Damn, Zora's up still up 36% on the day. Thank God.
Insanity, bro.
Thank God.
Yes, I had McDonald's in Italy, the food capital of the world. Deal with it. I ate pasta like every day. So
Bro, you're diabolical for that.
what? Having pasta every day?
No, eating McDonald's in Italy.
3 times. 3
Crazy.
times. Study that.
Yeah, did they not have any like pizza shops? Did
What?
they not have any like pizza shops open late at night?
No, they don't. It's not like New York in that regard, or Chicago.
You can't eat in the middle of the day either.
Yeah, everybody like goes off on lunch break.
Yeah.
Rugged. Crime season in Italy. Well, there were a ton of protests in Bologna. A ton of them.
Bologna.
I went to-
Bologna was maybe my favorite
was it?
location. Yeah, I don't think you could stay there for more than like 3 or 4 days, but eat a lot of food there. Also learned there's a difference between tortellini and tortelloni.
Mm.
Louis, the Italian ass laughing at me.
That's funny. Tortelloni and tortellini.
There are like 800 different kinds of pasta.
I don't even know them all. I don't know
I
them all.
hope you don't know them all. I had one that I'd never heard of called like Trophy. I'm definitely butchering that pronunciation, but it was delicious.
Have you guys had a assassin pasta before? La Assassine, I think is.
No.
It's burnt spaghetti. It is incredible. Tortellini.
What did I say? Tortellini.
Tortellini.
Oh, Big Sal's back. Big Sal, what should we show?
It's probably in the under the comments on X.
Big Sal, what are we looking at here, brother? Sig's inside.
Seasons.
No, that was funny how we had a guest on yesterday and he was cooking on the market. He did a great job too. I don't know if he's watching today's show, but he did a great job yesterday. And
Yeah,
he thinks we're laughing at him for his accent, but like if you look backstage, Big Sal's just ripping a cig or cigar.
It was a dart.
Oh.
None of this shit matters. Rip it 6. What did he post on X?
What is that?
Big Sal, put in the comments section what you want me to pull up, bro.
It's probably on X.
Should
Should we talk about XPL?
Going to
Right.
0.
Is it going to 0? Oh my God.
Right.
I'm having dimension
Hey.
flashbacks.
Dude,
Yeah.
I saw this when it came out, and one of the guys in the Discord messaged me about it privately and was like, "Check this out." And I was like looking into it, and I could not shake this gut feeling that like there was something wrong, like with the project. Like I was like, it's just one of those things. Like you can't contextualize it, but you're like, this just does not seem right.
Okay, I found what Big Sal
It's just like the whole existence of XPL has been crime. You know, like that whole mega squeeze that they had on Hyperliquid.
Mm-hmm. Whoa, Big Sal, too bullish. Too bullish, Big Sal.
Yeah, so he's comparing ETH now to the others chart from 2017. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion for ETH is pretty similar. Like, I think ETH is just replicating the total DeFi chart from like 2020, but on a much longer time horizon. It's why I say we've had a bunch of mini cycles in a much larger one.
Yeah,
but
I agree. I agree with this. I like it. Easy, Big Sal.
Easy.
You laugh because you don't understand. We totally understand.
Because of that, man. This has been a.
You're saying we agree with you. Like, I don't understand.
Now let me. I can pull up my chart for a few minutes. I don't really have much to show, but. So you're not just looking at our ugly mugs.
Speak for yourself, Tommy.
You don't, though.
I mean, it's been pretty, to quote Jackass, jabaty for the last 2 weeks, right? You've had all of these squeezes on a lower time frame that just get sold into by whoever has been sitting on the ask. For me, like, to be bullish, it's pretty simple that you should be breaking market structure in these highs. Because if you flip that, all of these shorts are going to get cooked. But if not, you know, if this behavior just keeps persisting, then it's pretty clear that supply is the heavier hand in the market, right?
Yeah, right now, at least locally.
Let's see what the volume profile looks like. Oh,
I think we either got to bounce here or we're going to 117, and then 117 is like a must hold for me.
We need to be bouncing here.
Yeah.
Yes. I agree.
Retesting the point of control.
Yeah.
Or else you're getting full rotation.
Yeah, that's not a good look. That's a sweep of the high. See you later pattern.
That would be really nasty. What's that look like? Yeah, I mean, good bounce here. It'll be up to next week, guys. It'll be up to next week. What do they do with Vol? Do they keep ripping it up? What are they going to do with ETH? Oh, yeah. What does this look like? I think Tucker had this pulled up yesterday. Yeah, I mean, that still looks pretty fine. Starts to look not fine if you lose 40, 50.
Yes.
All right.
The eternal Ethereum range.
Buying BMNR.
We make all-time high. Oh, we did. Mission accomplished.
Yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Assholes.
All right, I think that's a good spot for us to be wrapping up the stream, though, guys. A reminder, this is our final show of the week. We hope you enjoyed Market Check today and really throughout this week. I felt like we had a little bit of everything over the last few days. So if you haven't watched back the last few days worth of shows, definitely make sure to do that. Also, you know, rewatch this one because why not? Especially if you like the content. Also, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe on your way out. But yeah, guys, a reminder, if you did enjoy Market Check today, that we are live Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with a typical start time around 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, make sure to tune in to Market Talk, hosted by the legendary King Wabi. He has been doing a great job in this market over the last few months. So if you're looking for alpha, if you're looking for great conversation, check out the spaces hosted through his account as well as Because Bitcoin account. So make sure to stay following and subscribed so you can be notified not just when we schedule those spaces, but also when we go live. If you're looking for something that could have given you an edge for this sell-off, or really just in general over the last few weeks, we do have some new products that we've rolled out over the last few months that you should definitely check out as well, right? If you're looking for trading signals, on times as low as the hourly, for example, on assets like Solana, Pepe, and Dogecoin, check out the Volume Fusion Pro Discord, guys. It's basically I'm trying to think of, I can't really simplify it, but Max's Volume Fusion Pro algorithm that he's been working on for, at this point, almost like a full year, and it is kicking the market's ass. We have the data to prove that. If you want access to those signals, you can get that through the Volume Fusion Pro Discord. All you have to do is sign up for Blowfin using our referral link, and you'll be given access to these as well as more in the future, but I can't say too much. Of course, if you're looking for something that could have given you an edge on BSC while it was pumping, or maybe even while it was dumping, check out the BB Terminal, guys. Our dev, Ed, has been kicking ass, improving it every single week. Like I said, we have the tools for you to be able to conquer both perps markets as well as on-chain markets. So make sure to check those out, guys. Thank you for tuning in, though. That concludes this week of shows for us, at least. Make sure to tune in for Market Talk with Wabi later this afternoon. But thank you again, as always. Have a great weekend, and of course, stay safe.
Tired of outdated trading tools, confused charts, dozens of tabs, endless stress? You're not alone. Introducing BB Terminal, your all-in-one command center for crypto trading. Track your portfolio, monitor the markets, stay ahead, all in one place. From chaos to clarity, from struggle to success. BB Terminal,